Hello guys, it's Chum Messenger. Time doing a Beyblade discussion video. This time on the Zest Achilles customized set. So I am a little late on this, like a week late honestly, but these are discussion videos, not news videos. I just have to talk about my personal thoughts on these new products. So yeah, first up we have, I guess we'll just get out of the way all of the kind of extra stuff. So I'll put a picture of the box on screen, and I'll just talk about each individual each individual part, and then I'll show the actual part images as we kind of go through the video, and yeah, just kind of go part by part for Achilles itself, but yeah, for everything else I think I'll just leave up this image. Anyway, so first up we have the extra 2 layers. So this customized set's a little bit different. Last time we had 2 DB layers, with of course all those components. 3 discs, 4 drivers, and a new gear. This time we have 3 layers, 2 of which being full DB layers, the other one being a full sparking layer, which is weird. Also 2 discs, 2 drivers, and a gear. It's actually the same amount of parts. It seems like a lot less, but because layers are 3 parts, it is technically the same amount. You could argue maybe even more because of chip cores being, I guess, a 4th part to a sparking layer, but that's really, really pushing it, honestly. So, yeah, anyway. So the DB layer we're getting is Chain, it is Chain, my bad. Chain Phoenix 2. So, Chain reprint, I'd say pretty good. There are 2 chains right now, the original one and then the recolor, both in Random Booster Volume 29. However, putting it somewhere else is a little bit easier to get, I think, is a good move. The 2 armor, who cares? It's probably one of the last armors I would have wanted to see, honestly. Better than probably 7 or 6, but like, nah, I would have had, or maybe 1 as well. But I guess, but 1 also hasn't had a reprint yet, so I guess 1 would have been okay. But I guess, you know, there were a lot of better choices I would have much rather seen here. The Phoenix core, probably one of the worst cores in all of DB. It's not bad, though. It's also useful for the original 2021 metal drivers, before they updated the caps. It's kind of immune, or I guess heavily resistant to that damage that a lot of other parts see. So it's kind of useful, but kind of not, because it doesn't really do a whole lot outside of that. It's just kind of a mediocre core. However, it is the only core that was released during DB, not BU, that has yet to see a recolor. And with the Prominence Valkyrie booster, we saw a Prominence recolor in the color scheme of Dead Phoenix. A lot of people have been waiting for a Phoenix core recolor so we can make kind of a dead version of Prominence Phoenix. And here it is. So I think, considering that and the fact that it has yet to even see a recolor, especially, you know, not being released kind of in a booster or anything, it was released in the Overdrive SP set, which is pretty expensive, I think this is a good choice. So that's fine. The sparking layer, oh boy, this was not a good choice. This was, okay, the sparking layer, it was not a good choice. We should have gotten a DB layer here. I would have probably said either Divine or Dangerous, just so the A gear has something to go with. We do not need another Dynamite, or no, I guess it'd have to be Divine. Whatever, anything would have been fine really, I guess, but like, if we're gonna get another Blade recolor, Divine probably would have been the obvious choice. I would not have minded that because of the A gear being in here. Dynamite, no. Dangerous has not seen a recolor, so I would not have minded that. What's it called? Devil, yeah, there we go. Devil is still harder to get, so a lot of better things that could have been in here. I mean, we could have got like a Kirby's core recolor as well, that would have been cool. But we're getting Hollow Ragnarok 1 Defense. 1 Defense were being released in a 2022 set of all things. Random Booster's one thing, but a set that a lot of people are going to buy, you're throwing 1 Defense in here. That's It's kind of a mockery of just releases, I would say. Like, what is that? Could have at least done 4 attack. 1 stamina at the very least. It's been repeated too many times, but it's at least a good chassis for the sparking system. 1 defense just is probably the worst chassis, both single and double chassis around. It's not very good. And it's an old part. So having it repeated here, not good at all. The Ragnarok core, or not core, Ragnarok chip rather, it's whatever. Not a good choice. I would have said, Lucifer 2 or like a Solomon with a metal chip core. Those would have been great. There's a lot of chips that are just very mediocre. There's not really any bad chips. There's just a lot of mediocre ones. Because, they don't have metal. And, yeah, Ragnarok falls into that. Would have been nice to at least get a chip core here. Or, not chip core, a metal chip core. But, yeah, it's just another mediocre part. Hollow, I can get behind. Had we gotten something better, like Hollow Lucifer 2 for attack, that would have been fine. So, Hollow itself has only appeared in Random Booster Volume 23, of course with the original Hollow Death Scyther, which is very expensive, or with the retailer Hollow Valkyrie, which is probably going to be about the same price as this set brand new. So, a Hollow reprint is certainly welcomed, but it's just not with any good parts, and it is pretty dated. Overall, I'm pretty mixed on this layer, honestly. It's not that bad of a choice, but it just could have been better. If they weren't going to put in the effort for this layer, I would have rather just had a DB layer. Even if it's mediocre, it's at least more relevant. And we probably would have gotten at least 1 half-decent part out of it. But with Sparking, yeah, Hollow's great and all, but, it's not competitive either. So nothing really is usable here anymore. At least not well, so whatever. It's whatever. The extra disc and driver we get here are Fortress and a Metal Never. Fortress is so far locked in Random Booster Volume 29. It's a pretty good disc as well, so I would say a very good choice for this set. Metal Never, it was a pretty good stamina driver, although it doesn't really compete as well with some of the more recent stuff, but it's still not bad. It's pretty good, I would say. And it's a metal variant, so you know what? Fair enough, this is a fine driver. So now let's get into the actual new stuff. We'll start off with the A gear just to get out of the way. Unlike D gear, A gear seems to be locked solely to Divine, only being A gear for the newest, release, with Divine Belial. So, is that a good thing? Probably. That way we can get a gear that's a little bit more specific to Divine and isn't just trying to accommodate 4 blades. So I'm fine with that. It is just a piece of plastic, but hopefully there's maybe a little bit of weight to it, maybe at least 4 or 5 grams. That would be amazing. Even if it's no F gear, if it can actually improve Divine, it doesn't need to be an F gear weight. Also, it has 2 modes. You can align it in 2 different ways. There's the 3-bladed mode and the 6-bladed mode. I think it's just called attack and defense mode or something, or sword and shield mode, whatever. One lines up with the blades to kind of make it a stronger attack type. The other one's offset to make it more circular. We'll see how well this works. I'm hoping it works pretty well. It looks like it could do something, but I'm not going to keep my hopes up for it. Now for the new release, Zest Achilles Illegal Quattro-4. Let's start with the driver this time, because I feel like it gets more interesting once we get to the layer. So you heard it, the driver's Quattro Dash. Very weird, I would have expected this for a Spriggan evolution. But hey, it's Quattro Dash, so yeah. Same 4 modes for each type, it's Quattro, just better spring. The disc is called Illegal. I'm not making this up, it's called Illegal. I guess that's fine, but it's a weird name. Apparently it's considered to be so good that it should be illegal or something like that. That was the whole idea of the name scheme. I do hope it's good though. It would be nice to see another great disc. Then again, we already have, over Giga, Fortress, and then Nexus Plus, one with attachments. So, do we need another great disc? Maybe not. I mean, Tapered's also decent enough. Even if you're playing in 5G format, like, you already have 5 pretty good discs, so... We don't need one, but why not? Hopefully it's a good disc. Or at least decent enough. Could at least be a tapered replacement, that'd be okay. Now, the layer. So we are finally getting another new armor, which is 4. I know we just got 1, but 1 is definitely a Excalibur-made piece, so I'm not really... It is a new armor, but it's very much an Excalibur part, so 4 should be something that could be used a little bit more general, like in more general circumstances. So hopefully 4 is a solid armor. Maybe comparable to 0. That'd be nice. So cool. Now we get to the best parts. The Achilles core and the Zest blade. So the Achilles core has a gimmick, which is a gimmick that I would not have expected. This is something that I would have never expected from a Achilles evolution, but it's LR. Achilles is becoming a dual spin Bay. This is actually the third Bay in all of Burst to change spin directions to some degree. Spriggan, of course, with Legend Spriggan becoming, well, LR instead of just right spin. That was kind of a big season for it because, it's the main antagonist. Eclipse, Apollos, Artemis, Eclipse, that whole mess. They were right spin, however, when they evolved in Joznets, Apollos became left spin, and when you made Eclipse, it could be either left or right spin. A pretty sensible evolution to a bait like this, I would say. But Achilles, long after its protagonist season, even being right spin all this time, and now even without an anime, they decided to make it LR. So we now have 3, or we're going to have 3 LR cores. There's going to be another Spriggan apparently later in BU, but we don't know what that's going to be about yet, so I'm going to not say it'll be a 4th LR core yet. They could pull an Ultimate Valkyrie on us and make it just right spin or something. I really hope they don't do that, but you never know. But, yeah, it's LR. I guess. So now for LR cores, we're going to have Spriggan, Achilles, and Hello Kitty. Diablos just could not get a win here. Man, they really hate Diablos, I guess. I think that's pretty clear after Death and Abyss that they hate Diablos, but man, they really hate Diablos. They gave us... We needed, a second LR core, and they gave us, they made Achilles dual spin, and then for a third one, they made a Hello Kitty core before giving us Diablos, man. That is wild. Anyway, enough about that. So what is the Zest blade going to do? It's a flippable blade just like Astral, so it does have that gimmick. It makes sense since it is LR. And, of course, it's high and low mode. So with all that in mind, it has 16 modes, just like Astral Spriggan. However, it's an Achilles. Union and Infinite both had kind of attachment gimmicks. This one does as well. Its attachment, I believe it's called the Zest sword. It can, obviously you can not use it if you don't want to. But there's 2 ways to put it on. You can put it on the top for attack mode or the bottom for defense mode. So instead of having 2 separate sword and shield attachments, it just has sword and shield modes. I actually think this is a better idea. That way you're not trying to deal with 2 separate attachments, and you just have the one that you could put in either way. I think this makes more sense, and it is pretty cool. So, yeah. And with that, it has 48 modes. So Zest Achilles will have 48 unique modes. That is something else. So, did anyone else expect this from Achilles? I definitely did not. I think everything aside from the LR core... Actually, no. Quattro Dash I wouldn't have expected either. Yeah, no, I did not expect a driver like this. I really thought it'd be an Extend variant. Maybe Dimension. I kind of figured it might have a new disc and armor, though, but, I just didn't think the core would have any gimmicks, and I thought at best maybe a burst stopper gimmick like Chozy Achilles. And then I thought the Zest blade would probably just be an attachment gimmick. I never in a million years would have thought this would be where we get Quattro Dash, and also where we get another LR Bay. That was very unexpected. So, yeah, honestly, a really cool set. Like, a really, really great set. Again, I wish there were some better part choices for, like, the 2 armor I could probably give a pass on. It's an armor, it's whatever. But, like, Ragnarok and 1 defense, really? Come on. Those are still certainly unfortunate. But, whatever. The set overall is still great, and I'm very excited to get Zest Achilles. At this point, we only have a couple more weeks to go. Actually, just over 2 weeks until it comes out. That's actually sooner than I expected, so yeah. If anyone's actually still watching at this point, let me know what you think about Zest Achilles. What do you think about being LR? That's actually something I'm very curious about. Also, just having Quattro Dash. Some people say it's kind of a Spriggan wannabe, or even just a better Spriggan. And yeah, I kind of agree, but at the same time, yeah, it's cool. Like, I don't mind it. I mean, even if it didn't get LR, like, it would have just been the same bay, but without LR, so I feel like I'd rather have it than not. And also, Quattro Dash, I mean, I'm not going to complain. It's a mode-changing driver. I think that lines up well enough with Achilles to where, it makes enough sense, so I'm fine with it. But that's all for this video. That's all my thoughts. So yeah. Anyway, Zyphoid Excalibur unboxing should be coming up in the next day or two. And yeah. So that's all for this video. So thanks for watching, and bye-bye.